Right out of the chute, the very first game I want to talk about is this game called Half Past Fate. Not too many games let me feel something. You talk about games like Gris, you talk about games like Night in the Woods, you talk about games like Shadow of the Colossus, and adding to that list is Half Past Fate. I love this game. Remember that movie Magnolia, where it's like there's a bunch of separate storylines, but they all kind of come together at the end somehow? Well, that's kind of like what Half Past Fate is all about. It's not really a dating simulator, but it is all about the early stages of dating with several couples that are going through their own thing. Now, the game takes place in different chapters, and the different chapters take place in different timelines, whether it be current day, 8 years ago, 10 hours ago, stuff like that. Again, a little bit like Magnolia, maybe a little bit like Memento. The chapters are kind of short, very playable. It's kind of a fetch quest where you look over somewhere and you find out what you need to do, so you gotta go do the thing to unlock the other thing, which gets you access to the one thing, which gives you the thing that you need for the thing. Yeah, a lot of things happening in this Half Past Fate. This game, called Dandara? Is it Dandara? I'm not sure. So Dandara, let's be honest, it's another one of these games that looks like this kind of game. This game, super addicting though. The very first time you play it, you're like, I can't move, I can't run left and right. Well, you don't. You just jump from platform to platform. You jump from thing to thing. There is no up, down, left, right. You just keep going, man. Naturally, there's going to be obstacles in the way, and you do have a chance to throw out your little fireball type thing. Dare I say Metroidvania? Well, I will, because it is a Metroidvania style game. However, instead of, like I said, running left and right and jumping, you're just, jumping or, zooming from platform to platform or zooming from thing to thing as you keep going. And you'll get upgrades along the way, of course you will. The exploration in this game is fantastic. I mean, there's so many different directions you can go. I mean, you do get a map later on. It'll kind of show you where you've already been. But I just love the extra elements and levels to this game. Looking forward to playing a lot more of this game too. And just the art style alone, man, I can't get over how awesome this is. Now, although this game's been out for a couple months now, I haven't had a chance to talk about Coffee Time yet. I love this game. Oh my god, I love this game. You gotta check out Coffee Time. Seriously. Again, if you like those games that are good, please check out Coffee Time, I'm telling you. Now, in Coffee Time, you play as a barista in Seattle. However, it's a few months into the future in Seattle, and there are also succubi and monsters and orcs and other creatures that live in Seattle who just want some coffee just like anyone else. There is a narrative in the game where the characters come in and you kind of learn a little bit more about them and everything. But the fun part for me is making the coffee. Now, they'll actually ask for something specific and you whip it up for them. Or there's like, I don't know, surprise me. Or then you just surprise them and try to make something for them that you think that they would like. And there is a coffee index that once you unlock all the, once you make them and you're just like, well, here's what this is called. And then they might ask for that specifically. And you can make that for them. There is also a feature in this game, Coffee Time, that's just unlimited coffee. You just keep making coffee for different people that are coming in. Never mind the story mode, you're just making coffee. You can even do latte art, which I suck at, but at least it gives you the option. Well, we've been having a lot of fun with Hidden in Time. This is kind of your Where's Waldo idea, or Where's Wally, if you're across the seas. It's just a big ol' find the hidden. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can look through the bottom here. It even tells you little clues on where each item is. The good news is you don't need to find every item to move on to the next stage. You just have to find, like, most of them, Hidden in Time is going to be one of those games. It's just going to be fun to play through, and I'm going to keep on going back. I'm going to 100% this game eventually. And it goes through time, too. Like, of course, early on you're in the prehistoric era, but it, moves on from there. Hidden in Time, it's a perfect game, especially if you have like small children. There's no violence, there's no dialogue to get you lost. You just have to, it's just find the hidden, man. You can do that. Anyone can do that. So Little Misfortune is a wonderful game that's pretty messed up. To be honest with you. You play this 8-year-old, her name is Misfortune, and a voice says that she's going to die today. The thing is, she hears the voice, and he says, oh, well, in that case, come with me, and if you basically don't die today, come with me, and at the end, I'll give you eternal happiness, which she likes because her parents are miserable, and she wants to give the eternal happiness to her mom. Well, as you move along in the story, it gets more and more messed up, psychologically speaking. It looks like a children's game. It is not. This is for adults. There's language. There's scenes that aren't quite appropriate. Not going to go into too much detail, but every once in a while you'll run into like a fox who will kind of help you out, but you don't know if he's like your friend or your enemy, and you kind of piece things together along the way with the help of your narrator friend, who's just, this voice in your head, this mysterious voice this coming out of nowhere, It has light puzzle elements, and there's questions along the way, and at the beginning he even says there's no right or wrong answer, only consequences. That's pretty deep, man. It's one of those games, we already played through it, my older daughter and I did, and already want to play through it again just to answer different ways, and you see the things that you could have used along the way. You can pick up items to use later, but you don't know if you need them or not, so it just, like I said, no right or wrong answer, only consequences. So hoping to see if there's a good ending to this game. But it's wonderful, I love the art style, I love her voice. It's interesting just to play, and it's to me, this is the game for now where I'm just like, oh man, this is the game you should check out if you're up for it.
The illumination? Oh, really interesting.
What the golf? This is the name of this game. If you were a big fan of like Donut County, this game should be right up your alley. Yes, it's golf, but not in the conventional sense that you're used to. Every hole is different, and what I mean different, I mean every hole is, the first one is you don't actually have to get it in the hole for the most part. You just have to hit the pole, the post, the flag thingy. But the more you play it, the more you're like, instead of hitting the golf club, you're hitting items or instead of in lieu of the ball and stuff like that. And it's a fun game. It's one of those games you want to keep playing. Simple enough to play. You just aim and hit the button and go for the best here. But it's just interesting enough. You just want to see what the next level is going to be. You just want to see what creativity comes with a game like What the Golf. And I'm just tickled by games like this. So I'm happy to see that this is available for the Switch. If you love failing over and over again, you're going to love Lonely Mountains Downhill. That's not true. That's not true. But this is a downhill biking game where you have to get to the bottom of the giant mountain. This is insane. There are online leaderboards, so if that's your thing, that's going to be awesome too. But the goal is to make it all the way down, crashing as minimal times as possible. If you crash, no problem, you'll go straight back to the checkpoint. And then doing different challenges will get you unlock more mountains, unlock more bikes. So it's like if you go so far without, breaking your face so many times, or if you make it down the hill in a certain amount of time, you can unlock more stuff. When I first saw the graphics, I was like, oh, come on, really? But for this game, it works. It has that kind of tilt-shift blurring feature, which is perfect because you're just focusing on what you're looking at, but it's cool because when you look off in the distance, it kind of becomes blurry. Kind of like what my natural eyesight does. It's perfect. And you're going to fail a lot in this game. It kind of, well, without spoiling it, I'm going to spoil it anyway. Near the end of Doctor Strange, when he has that loop where he just keeps dying over and over and over again, it reminds me a lot of that. At least it does when I play this game, because I suck at it. But even though I suck at it, I still keep playing it, because it's still really, really, really good. It's still really fun. Big time shout out to my buddy David. What up, David? Whoop! He was the one who suggested this game to me, and I haven't put it down since. A lot of fun. Showcase is a game called After Party. I remember seeing a preview of this at E3, and man, I couldn't wait to play this game. It's been out for a little while now. Now, in this game, you play the role of a couple of friends, and they're just friends in this game. You appear to be at like a college party. You could even drink, and by drinking, you get more options to respond in the dialogue. The writing is absolutely fantastic. It's written very, very, very well. There are bad words, so keep that in mind. The deal is, though, you end up dying, and you're sent to hell for some reason. You're trying to figure that out. But you find the loophole. If you out-party Satan, he will send you back to Earth. The game is called After Party. Definitely recommend checking it out. Pong Quest was a game I was really excited to play because I love the game Pong. Still like it today. But you add a quest to it? Okay. Now this is me. I was able to dress myself up, so I'm looking all snazzy and stuff, but you can dress yourself up however you want. And in Pong Quest, well, you go on this quest, as you can see, but your battles, your fight scenes, are in the game of Pong. How brilliant is that? And you can pick up new ball items along the way too, so you can, do something that smashes through your wall, or maybe even creates an extra barricade for you. Now, how the Pong fight scene works is you have to ricochet the ball back and forth. Hopefully you get it in your opponent's goal. Every time the ball hits you and bounces off of you, you lose 1 hit point, but if it goes in the goal, then they lose a bunch of hit points, like 5 of them or something. Maybe even more. I haven't really been paying attention. I'm too busy trying to watch where the ball's going. But you can pick up these items that will help you smash through your wall, or even create new boundaries for you. Little gimmicks for your ball as you're bouncing it back and forth.
You can use potions, which will make it so your life comes back, of course. You defeat your enemy and you move on, and you can pick up new items, new gold to purchase new balls in these dungeons. I just love the fact that the fight scenes are Pong-based, hence the name Pong Quest. You'll meet people in your journey along the way, too. Yeah, I don't need to say a whole lot beyond that, but I mean, come on, it's Pong Quest. You can't go wrong. Definitely check it out if you can. Now, Florent is a fun story. It's a short game. It's a cute experience. I still recommend checking it out when you can. I think I played through the entire game in my first sitting, and it took maybe an hour or something like that. It could have even been half an hour. I'm not exactly, I don't remember. But with the game Florence, you just kind of go through the daily motions of what it's like in the day. You go to work, have to talk to your mom. You know, there's a couple of interactive elements along the way that kind of keeps you doing stuff. You know, and eventually along the way you kind of meet a guy, and I like the idea of I thought this was a cool storytelling situation where when you're talking to him on your first date, it's, you know, a lot of puzzle pieces. You know, kind of hard, kind of awkward to talk to someone, don't really know what to say, kind of piecing things together as you go. But the more you talk to him, the easier it gets. I love that idea. It was awesome. A super short, fun experience, but it's certainly memorable. I think you'll like it. Now, Ski Sniper was one of those games that I saw, and I was like, well, it might be like a biathlon. You do a little bit of skiing, then a little bit of shooting. No. The skiers are going down the ski slope, and you have the sniper rifle, and you have to pick them off as they come down. This game actually controls not very well, and graphics-wise, presentation-wise, it could have even been on the PlayStation 3. However, just the idea and the uniqueness behind it, I had to check it out for myself. And you feel a super sense of accomplishment when you finally do hit someone. It's almost like hitting a golf ball for the first time, if you've ever done that. So Ski Sniper, it's one of those games, I don't know how long it's going to last as far as gameplay value goes, but I'm loving it right now. I think it's hilarious. It's another simple, fun, kind of relaxing, chill puzzle game called Poly Puzzle. It's called Poly Puzzle because you're working with polygons. And when you first start the level, you just see this shattered polygons. It just looks like, you know, graphic glitches from a PlayStation 1 era or something. But when you manipulate it, when you rotate it, when you move it around, then you're going to end up finally solving the puzzle, kind of put it together. It's that forced perspective of these polys here. And if you can't get it right off the bat, that's fine. There will eventually be like a hint button that will kind of move it kind of in the general direction that you need, and then you can kind of see what's going on and kind of center it together from there. Lily and I have been having fun with Poly Puzzle. We try to guess what the item is before it gets together, and then we'll see if we're right. And I think Lily got more answers right than I did. I have to talk about Superliminal. I remember hearing about this game about a year ago, and looking at it, I was like, it's going to be on Steam. It's going to be a computer game. I'm never going to be able to play it. Fortunately, it's available for us. It's also on the PlayStation 4, but I have this version on the Nintendo Switch. I got so much of those Portal vibes playing this game, where you seem like you're kind of like a lab rat, like a test subject, but it turns out that, you know, you're just behind the scenes and you have to get out and break out, and it's all about forced perspective. You can pick up items, and if you kind of place them what looks like it might be far away, they turn huge. Or you can put them right to your feet, and they turn super tiny. And you're going to have to use that to get out of where you're going, to unlock levels, to do things that you need to do to move on with yourself. And there's even parts later on in the game where you have to, like, you know, line up the picture. Like, there's paintings on the wall, but if you look at it at a certain angle, it kind of comes to life. You can grab it. I mean, it's just, this game is a trip. It is an absolute trip. And like I said, it got so much of those Portal vibes playing this game. It's called Superliminal. Man, this is my very high recommendation for games right now. However you got to play it, Superliminal, you got to check it out. Love it. Jenny LeClue Detective-Vu is the name of this game, and I absolutely love this game. And I love games like this too. You're going around and collecting clues. You walk around in a town. I don't really want to compare. The only thing I can think of to compare it to, maybe a little bit like Night in the Woods, but not as much. It just has that mechanic where it's the 2D side-scrolling, for a lot of it anyway, not all of it, but for a lot of it, it's the 2D side-scrolling, and that's when you can talk to people. And then sometimes you have to interrogate them, or ask them questions, or talk to them. This game reminds me a lot of Tingle Tower, maybe with the writing, maybe with the quirkiness, maybe with the charm. But if you like games like this, where you have to, like, you know, get your clues and move on and solve the mystery, Jenny LeClue Detective-Vu is the game you're looking for.
I love any game that looks like this. This is Tanuki Justice. This is the game you need to check out for sure. 1 or 2 players on this one. And it's that old school side-scrolling style game that, man, I just can't get enough of. This is from the same company and the same people that gave us that Agalos game that I absolutely loved. I did a video on that a while back. I mean, first of all, look how cute you are, right? You're a little ninja Tanuki character, and you're throwing your throwing stars or shurikens if you want to be awesome. You can toss them in multiple directions. You're gonna have to because enemies come at you from all angles. Bright colors, fun sounds, love the stages, love how it looks. It just looks like, I love that color palette on this. Aesthetically pleasing for my eyes, for sure. If you notice up in the corner, you have that kind of, bar that keeps charging when you kill enemies. When it gets all the way full, you can toss this super shuriken. It's super awesome. And big boss battles, fun boss battles, creative boss battles. There's always gonna be a pattern, so easy to figure out, But man, this game, Tanuki Justice, can't get enough of it. This is the one to look out for sure. Part-Time UFO was featured in a Nintendo Direct not too long ago from HAL Laboratories, the people who brought us Kirby, the people who brought us Lolo, and so much more. And it is that charm, that fun. I could see Part-Time UFO becoming a staple character. I could see Part-Time UFO becoming a new character that they can use for other games in the future, and I sure hope they do. So the UFO plays like a crane, and you have to do different things for different levels. Like this one is, I have to stack up the cheerleaders so high, and yeah, if I do it in a certain order, I'll even get the bonus points and all that. And there's other stages like you have to put the toys away. There's other stages like you have to, go fishing and fish for certain things and stuff like that too. A lot of gameplay going on with this. I love this game. Perfect game for just about anyone, I think. Part-Time UFO. Make sure you check it out sometime soon. The Eternal Castle. Now, going back to Prince of Persia. You talk about your Out of This World or Another World. You talk about your Flashback. You talk about your Abe's Oddworld Odyssey to an extent. This is another one of those style games. I absolutely love the artwork in this. Super fluid pixels and just looks gorgeous. I mean, it looks like an old school computer game kind of, but it's also just, it's, I don't know. It's, if you like that style of game, that Prince of Persia style, that Out of This World style, you're gonna love this game. Lots of checkpoints along the way, because you will be failing along the way a lot, or at least I have been. Different methods of defeating your enemies and moving on, and I just can't get over the art style. It's just, it's hypnotizing to me. This is The Eternal Castle, and I'm playing it right now on the Nintendo Switch.